Hello, I'm Bartling, and I certainly hope that you and yours are going to continue to have that brighter summer day. Yes, it's continuing day by day. This summer day, the older I am, the more that I think. And I think in looking at my life's journey thus far, I'm seeing quite a pattern in the journey. LaDonna and I have taken the journey from Nebraska, if you recall, over to Iowa, then on up to Minnesota, and then right across that Red River to North Dakota, and now we're going south. How far south? Well, to South Dakota. And South Dakota, we have spent probably almost 37 years here in this state. So I've got quite a story to tell. The first area I'd like to share with you today would be East River. And I could go on about, how we have farms and ranches, East River versus West, and how we have then the Black Hills, and they have the majestic falls of Sioux Falls. But I want to focus on, if I can, the people. And I think of an I word, not the word innovation, but the word inspired. You see, with the people that I became acquainted with, East River, particularly in Sioux Falls, I became inspired. And even so, I have to break that down into two groups. So the group I'd like to share with you today would be kind of a social organization. This organization was the Boy Scouts. I joined when I was very young. And when we got married and had Justin, then we joined the organization again. And in Sioux Falls, we joined an organization that was new. And what I mean by that, the troop was new. The leader there was a doctor, and they hadn't been organized probably a year that Justin and I joined the group. Now, prior to that, Justin had been involved in what you'd call Cub Scouts, and LaDonna and some other ladies, I think about 3 other ladies, they were the leaders of that group. Every one of those boys that were in that Cub Scout pack, as it's called, every single one of them became Eagle Scouts. And only 1 out of 100 boys that joined Scouts become Eagle Scouts. So that was quite a feat that LaDonna and the others did. But on the Boy Scouting side, this particular new troop became inspired by not only the boys, particularly the boys, but also their parents. You see, we really didn't say the word can't. We just look on different things as opportunities collectively, came up with brainstorming ideas, and then someone would take the reins, so to speak, and be in charge. It kind of brings me back to an old phrase that my mom and my grandma would share with me from time to time. If you hang around with dogs, you're going to get fleas. Yep, if you hang around dogs, you're going to get fleas. If you look at the people around your circle, and if you don't get inspired, if you don't get inspired by those people, then you don't have a circle. You have a cage. And believe me, this particular group I'm thinking of, they inspired me. We did things that others wouldn't think of. There would be something called service projects. Now, many times you'll hear of boys selling candy, popcorn, Christmas wreaths. Get this for being inspired. The boys went out to a Christmas farm and they worked. As the tree would come through, as this tree would come through, there'd be a plastic netting that would go around it. They would go ahead and tie it, and then they would carry it to the person's truck or wherever it might be. They got paid for that. They used that money to buy Christmas trees right there from that farm. Then they went to a hardware store Nyberg's Ace Hardware and talked to him and let him know of their vision. And he shared the vision with them, and so he donated. He donated ornaments and he donated Christmas stands. You see, those boys in that troop, their parents, they went to needy organizations and asked, who needs a Christmas tree? And so then they went out and delivered Christmas trees with decorations, with a stand to needy households. So they worked? Yes, they did. They earned money? Yes, they did. And how did they apply that? Almost with a leverage, you might say, a multiplier effect. Multiplier effect of good feelings. And they went out and delivered Christmas trees to families to enjoy Christmas tree decorations and a stand. That all came from a brainstorm of a parent. Inspired me, continues to inspire me. You're hearing my story. So let me ask you this. Think of your different circles that you're involved with. Maybe it's the Kiwanis, maybe it's the Gideons, maybe it's a work group, maybe it's a study group, maybe it's a professional organization. But think of that circle of people that you are involved with. Do they inspire you? Do you inspire them? If not, maybe you don't have a circle. Maybe you have a cage. And to kind of add a little different slant on kind of what Grandma said, if you hang out with clowns, your life becomes a circus. So a little bit on how I became inspired with a particular group of families. Yes, families. East River. And until we talk again, I indeed want you to have yourself a brighter summer day. Why? Because we're in this together and I'm rooting for you. Take care.